so that you and your respective teams can watch later if you wish. And off we go. A little bit of a more expansive view of my office today for reasons. Good reason. Today, our topic is about top, not 10, but 12 relationship breakers in sales and what to do about them. And I'm standing up because there are a lot of you today that are joining us, and you are in a sales role that is one that requires body language. So today, we're using all of it to sell. 86% of people buy from somebody that they like. And in order to show that you are someone who's likable and trustworthy and knowledgeable, we want to make sure that there's some congruency with the words that you use, the tone that you use, and the body language associated with that. So what we've done today is we've used the top 10 relationship breakers. Obviously, I have expanded that a little bit, but we've also given you a couple of things to consider as they relate also to different sales environments. Many of you know here at Guest Service Solutions that we conduct hundreds of mystery shopping inspections every year. In fact, next month, our green room will be about taking the mystery out of mystery shopping inspection. I think we're going to actually have some professional mystery shoppers available with us to answer some questions and get you thinking about if you want to be creating a mystery shopping program of your own in-house, how you could go about doing that, and ways that you can use the feedback positively in your organizations. One of the things that we do, though, often with the mystery shopping inspections that we conduct and or evaluate, even phone calls or video that we get, is that we're able to see some trends that occur with this information. And those are some of the things that helped us to be able to collect these relationship breakers in sales. So not just in a reservation sales environment or a vacation sales environment, but also for those of you in food and beverage, in spa treatment reservations, in a retail environment, group sales, conference services. Many of you have to upsell, cross-sell, suggestively sell. And across the board, these are the typical words, phrases, terms that can change a sale from being potential to broken very, very quickly. So as you can imagine, it also compromises your likability and it compromises your trustworthiness as well. So I want to make sure that we give you a lot of different things today. I think the most important things that I want to make sure you get are the facts on why people buy from people that they like. I want to give you the top things people say that kill them and why, and then also give you the stuff to use instead that's going to make a sale for you and get you thinking about the things that you can do and use in your own organizations that are going to increase the likelihood of converting pieces of business or a potential sale into an actual sale. Let me give you some facts about it first and why this is so important. First of all, 3 in 5 Americans are going to try a new brand or company for a better service experience. So knowing that any of us that deal with customers or in the people business has to get us thinking about the fact that our customers have a choice. They always have a choice. And quite often it comes down to those simple things that we say and how we say them. 70% of buying experiences are based, I love this, based on how the customer feels they're being treated. So it's really about perception. And that's all we do all the time is manage perceptions. When we know this, we have an opportunity to adjust perception, and we also have an opportunity to consider what we're saying, how we're saying it, how we look, and what we do to increase the likelihood of converting a piece of business into a sale. 86% of buyers are going to pay more for a better customer experience, but only 1% of customers actually feel that vendors consistently meet their expectations. So think about that. So what does that really mean? What that means to all of us is that we need to be thinking about the fact that, again, we don't create the feeling often that creates guest loyalty. And if during the point of sale we can use the right words and use the right tone of voice and the right body language that increases the likelihood that a customer feels that we met their expectations, we can create loyalty. 5 to 20% of the probability of selling to a new prospect is only 5 to 20%, whereas the probability of selling to an existing customer is 60 to 70%. So we know that it's a lot easier to retain an existing client or customer or guest than it is to get a new one. Why is this important when we're talking about relationship sales? Because that's what it's all about. It's always about that. And it's a collection of the little things we say. And it's a collection of the universe of times that we've had those interactions with guests. And are you congruent quite often with the tone of voice that you're using? Or do you change? It's 6 to 7 times more expensive to acquire a new customer as well than it is to keep an existing one. And 81% of companies motivate employees to treat customers fairly, and 65% provide effective tools and training to gain trust with their customers. So lucky you, you're part of the chosen few that actually are part of an organization that does provide the effective tools and training to gain trust with their customers. Many of you already are head and shoulders above your competitors in this arena. So this is an opportunity to continue getting that leg up. Once you know the top 10 relationship breakers, or 12 in our case today, you can't unsee them. It's sort of like a puzzle. Once you can solve the puzzle, you know where the pieces go. And so I encourage you today to really think about how you can change those things that you say to increase the likelihood of converting that call into a sale. Once you get it, you can't unsee it. I promise you. Let's start with number 11. We're going to go from number 11 and go all the way up, and I'll give you a bonus one. Number 11, no problem. We hear this constantly. You probably say this often and don't even realize that you say it. I say it, and I have to be aware of when I'm saying it, and why I'm saying it, and how I'm saying it. The problem with no problem is that it implies that there was a problem to begin with that you're solving, or that the mere request that a guest has provided you was in some way a problem. Obviously, it wasn't. So what we want to try to say instead is something that creates a flow in conversation. Not a no, but a flow. So it could sound like something to the effect of, "It's my pleasure. And what I can also do for you is something else." Or, "I would be happy to," or "absolutely." So instead of "no problem," try "I would be happy to," or "absolutely," or "that's easy, of course we can." Any of those sound better than "no problem." So notice, even with the very, very first one that we're talking about here, just my body language and my tone of voice and the facial expressions that I'm using are conveying the message as well. I could quite easily say, "Absolutely, it's my pleasure. I'd be happy to." And I could convey something extremely differently. So when I say congruency, I am talking about the nonverbals that we use, the tone of voice that we use, and the words as well. So while you might see words up here, I'm going to use my body to indicate how I would like to see those words said. It's my pleasure. And what I could also do is make sure that we double check that residence in advance to make sure that the bedding is put together. Does that sound like a great plan for you? That's what I would prefer to see instead of "it's my pleasure." Number 10, what are your dates? Those of you that know me know I hate this question. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I know that there are some people, though, that can say it in a nice way. And especially over the phone in a reservation sales environment, we know tone of voice is a big part of it. What are your dates? The problem with "what are your dates" is that it locks you in such a way that sometimes you get stuck. And if you then are not able to find availability, then you have nowhere to go. So if you can ask this in a different way, it helps you. I want to back up for a second and give you a couple of facts and figures to consider. Consumers still prefer assistance over the phone, over email, live chat, online knowledge base, and click to call. 61% of consumers still prefer assistance over those channels. So for those of you that take a look at telephone handling as a dead skill, it's not. So Cassandra, you're absolutely right. What's the reason for your visit? Something to that effect sounds so much better, so much better. Here are some other examples. How may I assist you today? What's bringing you to our resort this weekend? Tell me a little bit about your party. When are you hoping to come and who's coming with you? What room features are most important to you? How familiar are you with the menu? How familiar are you with the accommodations that we offer here? Anything that's an open-ended question that allows your guest to speak freely about perhaps what's rattling around in their head, gives them control, allows you an opportunity to perhaps shape that a little more. What I also notice is if they don't get what a lot of times if sales professionals don't get what they want from one of these open-ended questions, or if they don't get the answer they want from what are your dates, and a guest doesn't know what dates they want, sometimes a sales professional will say, well, I can't help you unless I have dates. And then it's like, nails on chalkboard number 2. Remember, allow your guest to have control first, and you have the power to be able to shape where it goes from there. Number 9, too many options. I don't need to hear about every special on your menu. I have eyeballs. I know how to read all of the spa treatments that you have. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to qualify, ask me questions, and give me one best fit option. And then from there, trial close. Ask me some questions. How does that sound? How do you feel about that? Ooh, excuse me. Is this what you had in mind? That way, we know where to go from there. When you give too many options, you confuse your guest, and your guest isn't feeling as though they really are receiving service, or this isn't creating a feeling of hospitality for them, of warmth, of welcome, or that you really want them to be a guest there. It's more like, just pick something, okay? And so that's the key distinction. I want you to make sure that you are helping to make a distinction for your guests that is helping to personalize that guest experience. All it takes is a few questions, just a few of these qualifying questions, and you're well on your way to not having to provide too many options. Number 8, this is Erica. Can I have your name, please? Or, welcome to the restaurant. Can I please have your resort ID card? What that sounds like is, I cannot take care of you until I know who you are. It's almost like, tickets, please, tickets, please, tickets, please. It's rude. It definitely dehumanizes the experience. So while it seems like, well, I mean, using names, that's a way that we build relationships, right? Yes, it most certainly is. You have to do it in the right way. So how do you do that? Create a conversation with your guests first. In the first 30 seconds to a minute, ask those open-ended questions. Find out, hey, what's bringing you in this afternoon? How was your day? Tell me about the hike. What did you see? I saw a bunch of deer on that hike just the other day. Did you see any wildlife? Ask some questions. I'm Erica. I'll be taking care of you today. And who are all of you? I haven't seen you in here yet this week. They might tell you, they might not. It's okay. In reservations, kind of the same thing. What's bringing you to our resort for this week? And they might share with you, and that's wonderful. I'm so excited for you to join us. May I ask who I'm speaking with, please? Or again, my name is Erica. Who am I speaking with? They'll tell you. This is a great way to start your conversation as more of a relationship builder and less of a tickets, please kind of an interaction. Number 7, Do you know what you want? Do you know what kind of place you want? Did you look at the menu yet? You know what you want? Do you know what kind of spa treatment you want? Did you find anything in the store that you're interested in? If I can help you, let me know. How rude. No, thank you. I don't want anything. Cassandra asks, is it creepy to say, am I speaking with? They have a great caller ID system, and it says that you're speaking with Erica Cayley. Is it creepy to say, am I speaking with Erica Cayley? I think if I've never called in before and you're aware that I am a first-time guest, I might refrain from doing that. But if I am a guest that's been there before, it may seem less creepy. So that might be one way that you can do that. I think through Navis you're able to indicate whether or not it's a first time or a repeat guest. You might be able to say something to the effect of our caller ID system is able to show us the names of people that are calling in. What I get concerned about with that is that guests might start to feel like they're being preyed upon a little bit more than what they might have expected that they were being. So it might be best to just follow the protocols of generating a conversation, allowing them the opportunity to give you their name, and then use it professionally in the conversation. You're welcome, of course. So do you know what kind of place you want? I honestly think that there are so many other better ways that this can be said. Uh, what residences have you seen so far that were of interest to you? Or tell me a little bit about what you had in mind for this particular vacation. Or I noticed that you've all taken a look at the menu, so what interests you so far? Or how may I help you today? How may I help you consider an appetizer order today? They're going to tell you, we need help. Or honestly, I don't care. Just tell me what's great on the menu. I want the best massage that you have. What is it? But don't ever say, do you know what you want? No, that's why I called you. So give me the help that I'm looking for, that I'm asking for. This is one of the number one things that we see quite often that people think is going to save time, and it ends up becoming a relationship breaker. So it does the exact opposite. Oh, I'm pretty sure that that's available. Let me check. I'm pretty sure that we can request a male therapist for you. I don't know. I mean, we had one that just called off and another one that just quit. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure, but let me check. It's okay to say, let me check. There's no need to say the I'm pretty sure. Say nothing. Please, if you wouldn't mind holding for just one moment, I'm going to find out for you. Thank you. One moment, please. Get rid of the I'm pretty sure. There is no reason to be doubtful. Either you know or you don't know. And if you don't know, you're going to find out. That's an easy one, number 6. Moving right along. Oh, good old feature dumping. We hear it all the time. You hear it in a restaurant. You hear it in a spa. You can see it as if you look on, even if you look in some of the descriptions for products in Amazon, you're going to be able to see descriptions and you're going to see the benefits, right? There's a key difference. Just go ahead and take a look at any product on Amazon. Just look at something that you're interested in right now. I think you'll be able to distinctively notice that there's a list of features, and then there's going to be a few sentences of benefits, perhaps right below. There's the difference. Features are the physical characteristics of something. Everybody knows what they are. Benefits are the value associated with those features. And that's the thing that often our guests need some assistance with. They need to know, what's in it for me? So what? Why should I care about this particular item? So I don't want to hear about the TV, the VCR, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2,500 square feet. This is a unit on the 3rd floor. I can read all of that. tell me that this place is ideal for families just like yours. In fact, we just had a family that was here last week and they loved it so much that they asked if they could buy one. What I love about this place the most is that it's facing the mountain. What that means is that you're going to have fantastic views of the skiers during the day, and I think it's a little bit quieter in the evenings. What I also love about this particular residence is the fact that it has a fantastic gourmet kitchen. You will never have to look for anything. Nothing's missing in this particular kitchen. It's beautiful. It's an absolute joy to cook in it. That's benefit selling. You can do the same thing with uh, food. I want to hear how it's flavorful, and I want to hear how it's tasty, and it's shareable, and I want to hear about how it's a colorful dish, or how it's just it's a showstopper. I want to hear about those kinds of things. I don't want to hear about all of the ingredients unless I ask you. I can read. So hopefully that helps you to get a good distinction between features and benefits. Do you want to book that? Do you want to buy that? This one gets you in trouble. If the timing's bad, then you could ruin a sale very quickly. So yeah, we have that. It's available next week, arriving on this date, departing on that date, or yeah, we have that. Do you want it? I'd love to reserve that for you. Can I secure that reservation for you today? Would you like one or two of those appetizers? They are a little bit small, so it might be better to get two instead of one. That's what I'd prefer to hear. So notice my body language is engaged, my eyes are engaged. Sometimes I can even use a head nod. Can I secure that reservation for you? Would you like one or two appetizers? So I can do a lot of influence with my body that's going to increase the likelihood that I'm going to get this sale. Timing is key. If it's too soon and I haven't created value by describing the item, by talking about the price, the value, the features, and the benefits, the chances of my getting the reservation are not very high, getting that sale. Oh, we're sold out. Okay, well, thanks a lot. Well, there are so many other things that we can be saying instead. Try a yes to something else. It's okay if you're sold out of that. Tell me what you can do. So I put some ideas here, and let me just show you even with body language. I'm thrilled that we can squeeze in a massage before you check out tomorrow, though. Shall we secure this time instead? So I'm using my body language to influence the conversation because I could say, we can squeeze in a massage before you check out tomorrow. Oh, well, sign me up. I can't wait. So consider how all of this has to be working together to get the yes. Would you mind if I made a few phone calls to some of my personal favorites to see if we might be able to accommodate you at a partner restaurant? Sure. How flexible are you with your vacation plans? Might I suggest the lamb since the pork tenderloin is sold out? It's our signature dish. I can describe that a little bit further from there. But I want to hear a yes instead of a no. We're sold out. Remember those no words instead of flow words? These are flow words. And that's where you're going to get a sale. Well, it all depends on what you want. Okay, well, bounce the ball back to me. That's not going to work very well for you. Remember, congruency. I can even still, in a positive way, say it all depends on what you want. I had a server one time in a restaurant. I had asked him about these handcrafted, beautiful signature cocktails, 2 pages worth of them. And I asked him about one in particular. I said, so tell me about this one that has gin in it. Is it good? I don't know. I've never had it. I don't like gin. I guess it all depends on what you want. You work here. So remember how important it is for you to think about the fact that if you work there, make a recommendation. There are so many ways that you can make a recommendation. Even if you've never tried it, you can still say, a lot of people order that one. I know they absolutely love it. We get great feedback on it. It's worth a try. Give it a try. So instead, you could say something if, let's say, a guest is debating between a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom. Based on the fact that you're coming with a large group, I would recommend the larger residence. So I'm emphasizing the word would. A week in a 2-bedroom seems doable when comparison shopping. However, several guests have reported to us that it feels entirely too uncomfortable to have families in excess of 6 guests in residences of that size. For the peace of mind and the true vacation experience, this 3-bedroom is an investment worth the additional $200 a night. If I leave it there, get an effective pause in there, and then go in for a trial clause that can then convert to an assumptive, convert to a direct, I have a much higher likelihood of getting that sale. Here's number 1. Well, let me know when you decide. I'll give you some more time. Let me know when you decide. Okay, well, what about you? Don't you have some skin in this game? Do you want the sale or not? When can we connect again? When might I be able to give you a call? I'll be back in 2 minutes with your beverages, and then I can suggest some appetizers if you're still trying to decide. May I make a recommendation? So the biggest thing here is that this isn't a waiting game, because if you're going to wait, you're going to lose. Many phone calls will, especially in the reservation sales, spa treatment sales, group sales, convention services kind of environments, if you don't get the sale during that phone call, the odds of you actually converting that piece of business go down exponentially. My advice to you is to increase the likelihood of at least getting some commitment to further the conversation in the future instead of, well, let me know when you decide. Last but not least, there's your bonus. Let me get my manager. There's no worse way to break a relationship with a guest than to just cut it off and say, I'm done with you. Let me get my manager. You've officially disempowered yourself. You have officially relinquished all possibility of having any kind of relationship here. You have no authority. And as soon as you say, I can't do anything about this, you have no say. No say. And why would you do that? So automatically a guest ends up looking at you and going, I really thought that you could handle this. So you're the one that gave it up, not the guest. You gave it up. I don't know, but I'm going to find out. You can say that instead of, let me get my manager. What else can you say instead of, let me get my manager? What are some other options? I'm going to get you all off of mute here because I'll bet you have a million things that you could say. Jessica, Cassandra, what do you say instead of let me get my manager? I mean, I think some of you are the manager, but what do you wish your staff would say? I'm here for you. Yes. You might be able to say, I know that this is something that we're not going to be able to solve tonight. I know, though, that we'll be able to take care of this in the morning. So let me do some homework and I'm going to reach back out to you. That doesn't mean that I'm giving up. That means that I can get back to this at another moment. No, I need this to be fixed now. All right, so let me give you some suggestions. So instead of let me get my manager, let me give you some suggestions. You hire smart people. And smart people need to continue to be challenged and allowed to stay smart. Let me tell you what I can do. You're absolutely right. So I hate let me get my manager. It's the lazy person's way out. And I cannot believe that anybody on your team is lazy. I think they just don't know what they don't know. So when I look at these relationship breakers, I think quite often that these are just things that we aren't aware that we're saying. And my advice to you is to think about, hey, what can you do in your organization to increase the likelihood that these things become kind of pushed out of your culture because you now hear it. You can't unhear it. Right? What can you do? You can share the topic now. You know, ask your team which ones make brainstorm day. Create other verbiage. you can also remember to use those flow words and not no words, just as a rule. What no's are you hearing? What no's do you see? Look and listen. Mystery shop them yourself. You have lots of tools available to you. And if you need someone to help you with that, let me know. I can help you with some ideas. Coach each other when you hear it, and join us on social media for tips and reminders. We're on Instagram now. This was a most recent post on Instagram, top 5 relationship breakers in a sales call. This could be very helpful for your staff. Encourage them to join us on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn. We have all of these different channels jiving right now. We have all kinds of stuff. And so if they like those kinds of tips, they're out there. I post videos all the time of tips and ideas. In fact, we have a blog going out right now on social media about awkward silence and what to do about awkward silence. So if that's something you're struggling with, go out and find that. Join us. You can get these tips and ideas for free. Free, the F word. All right. Join me next month, taking the mystery out of mystery shopping on August 29th at 2 p.m. for our next green room. I think for those of you that participated today in the top 10 relationship breakers in sales, I want to thank you for being here. And if this was something that Jessica said, I just explained yes and to my husband the other day. My fave. Thanks, Erica. You're welcome. Please spread the word and have your friends and have your coworkers come join our green rooms. It's great information. And remember those fixed videos that are coming out every week. This week's was preparing to be present. And I think this is a good one for a lot of you. You're starting to ramp up for busy seasons coming up, and no better time than now to start thinking about that. Thanks, everybody. I'm so glad that you were here, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Have a great day.